decided that we design the solution that suits us. And that solution is that everything we do, since they make our country and our land very uncomfortable for us, we will bring our freedom from diaspora. And that's what we're doing today. So the enabling environment that was not created for us in Biafra land, the different countries where we reside have created an environment, and we are struggling to bring this kind of system back to our people for them to live like human beings. So we will always outsmart the terrorist state of Nigeria.
Only one, under his leadership, His Excellency Simon Ekpa. Anybody that is confusing anyone or telling you there is another, no, there is nothing. There's just one, recognized by His Excellency Simon Ekpa. And we can pray. Once he has that communication, Biafrans, we understand that Obato Obie does not take no crap from nobody. No matter who you are, you must respect that authority. That authority is the only thing that can protect all of us. But we thank God, somebody said this is a transition period. If these things does not happen, Biafrans will not know who is following our prime minister, who wants him to fail, who wants him to be out. So this moment is ordained to happen so that Biafrans will know who is who.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing program. Thank you so much for joining us once again on this platform. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. Please like and share this program. And remember, this platform where you are watching this program is Biafra Exodus Hard Talk TV, a platform that stands with the United States of Biafra, under the command of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the Supreme Command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today, under the control of Deputy Prime Minister COS Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, we bring information from the right source, the United States of Biafra, the government of our Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa. Wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama to like and share. Information is power. Remember, our Prime Minister encouraged us to engage in radical evangelism. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us to carry everybody along. In doing that, you must help us to share this video. Like and share to family and friends and to every platform where you belong. This information is
already compromised. And that's the point he has made. It's a very valid point. And I think that is a point based upon which the chief judge should begin to think.
But the chief judge, Justice Binta, did recuse herself. And right here on this show, we learned from one of the lawyers that came on this show some time back that even if a judge recuses himself or herself from a case, the Chief Justice of the Federation or the attorney, the AGF, can reassign that same judge to that same case if they feel the reasons tendered were not, valid enough.
I agree with you, Moses. But you see, each day this case comes up, new things come up. When the issue of her reclusing herself from the case, this didn't come up. Now we're having a new evidence to show that, deep down, there's a reason for this woman to be removed or to be allowed to excuse herself from this case. I mean, it's like saying, oh, you're holding somebody, daughter's or son, hostage.
So is that
and you're asking that person to adjudicate a case. What do you expect to get?
The government might use that as leverage to influence her decision?
Well, from what has been said and from what we know, it looks like she's been held hostage. It looks like her family members are being held hostage, and then they expect her to do.
Now, what does that even say to the government of the Federation? Doesn't that give the impression that government wants to, indict this man regardless of what the case might be?
Well, it's not just about the government. It's about our judicial system. It's to show you that the Nigerian judicial system has become very compromised. The truth, the symbol of justice and fairness no longer exists in our judicial system.
So it's not that they don't know the law, or they wouldn't want to, they don't know how to interpret it.
You say they don't know the law, it's just been too sarcastic. They know the law, but they don't want to follow it the way it is. And that is why I keep saying that, for me, the 1999 Constitution is an obnoxious document that needs to be shredded, because it gives you an opening here, or it indicts you here, it gives you several opens to escape. I mean, look at what is playing out in Rivers State, for instance. The law says when you decamp to another party, you lose your seat. But the same, the same law, now we're talking about Nnamdi case now.
Okay.
The same law says for you to do that, you must this. So it is those loopholes that politicians are holding on to.
But on the word of Nnamdi Kanu now, he said something about how the case, which was brought before him, was treasonable felony, but now it has been shifted to terrorism. So is it that Nigerian judicials don't know about those?
Have you ever gone to the police
and
station?
And that IPOB, as the case may be now, they've been prescribed fully, they are now terrorists.
Have you ever been to the police station before? Pray that the police does not take you to court. Because at every point in time, don't forget, Nigeria is a country where people get arrested before investigation will commence.
Okay.
So once you're already docked, they begin to look for more. They begin to find reasons for them to, pin you.
All right. Let me bring the barrister back into this conversation.
You remember, initially, when they wanted to try Nnamdi Kanu, the question of jurisdiction came in, and it's very important in a criminal trial. They said Nnamdi Kanu was saying things in UK. That was when Nnamdi Kanu said, okay, since this thing was committed in UK, then you don't have jurisdiction to try me. It was at that point the federal government now removed UK part of this matter. They removed it. They are not talking about it again. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, they have brought it back here, and then when the lawyers raised the issue of rendition, the federal government now discovered that they have committed. And remember very well that at the appeal court, Michael Zokome, he quashed the 15 count charges against Nnamdi Kanu. It's on record. So having quashed it, the federal government now started shopping for other evidences to indict Nnamdi Kanu. When the 15 count charges you have brought before the court have been quashed, please, what else are you looking for? Michael Zekome, he quashed it in the court. Everybody saw it. The man even knelt down and prayed to God and congratulated God for helping him to overcome this hurdle.
Okay.
So since that time, they have been shopping from one, this thing to the other. That means the federal government is not even sure of what they are pursuing.
All right, barrister, let me stay with you. We've talked the law of it. Let's look at the politics of the whole trial of Nnamdi Kanu. There's an angle I want us to look at. If you put everything together that has happened since the rendition and the cancellation of Nnamdi Kanu, does it look like the Igbo nation has abandoned Nnamdi? We don't see governors, we don't hear governors talking about release of Nnamdi. We don't see the Igbo intelligentsia wade into it, either behind closed doors or in the open. We don't see Ohaneze. The only statement they make is quite political. Does it look like he's been abandoned by his own people?
I don't think so. Mr. Okoro, I don't think so.
No, I'm just asking.
It's just that we are following, they are pushing the Igbos to become aggressive and all that in whenever they want to, demand for anything. It's not in our culture. I know some people who would have been carrying dagger, cutlass, and gun whenever this matter come up and insisting that their son should be. It's not in our culture. That's the truth.
But Barrister, essentially, I want us to look at the role of the elites, the Igbo elites, the role they have played.
They have done what they're supposed to do.
Like what?
They have made representation to Buhari and to Tinubu, the highest office holders in the land. They have made representation to the Attorney General of the Federation. You and I, we saw it.
No, we hear that the same people that go in the day go back at night and tell the president.
No, please, leave that rumor.
Is it rumor?
Talk of what you can attest to.
IPOB itself has alleged that, look, there are governors behind the incarceration of Nnamdi. Did you
see when they went in the night? In the law,
of course, you can't see a night caller because you're another way. So if someone says another person went in the night.
No, Mr. Okoro, please, let us leave speculation here.
Okay.
The fact remains that the Igbo intelligentsia, the Ohaneze, the Igbo World Congress and all that, they have all made representation to the federal government. What do you want them to do? Is it when they carry gun and cutlass that you not take them serious? If the federal government is a listening government, they should have done the needful before now. I told you here, it's not in our culture to be protesting, carrying gun, marching. Since independence of Nigeria, have you heard the Igbo protesting and killing and destroying things?
But
So
if it's not in the culture of the Igbos, shouldn't, I thought they said desperate times calls for desperate measures. Shouldn't there be some sort of desperate measures as against the sit at home that was introduced earlier? Shouldn't there be something else that would speak to the government of Nigeria to say, look, the generality of Igbo wants the release of this man?
We have spoken now. We have spoken in a loud voice. I don't know what else you want them to do. I mean, the Igbo political leaders have they have written documents, signed, and taken to Tinubu. The lawmakers, is that not true? So when people are saying they are not doing, I don't understand. What is the government waiting for in this matter? What are they
even be doing that? Is it constitutional right for us to take that route, for us to achieve
anyhow you can achieve peace? That's what we are doing now. If not, from what the court have said, nobody need to talk to anybody to do the needful.
Nobody. Prince Chilak, I want to have your reaction to that question that I asked. Especially, I want you also to factor, to put in, to consider the fact that a lot of people have said, look, a certain group of political elites, be they governors or senators or whoever, the political elites, people, office holders in Igbo land, that are the ones, behind the continuous incarceration of Nnamdi. Because according to those sources, according to people that allege, they say that, look, if Nnamdi comes out, he is going to impact negatively on their political status, ambition, and all of that. 2027 is on the table, governorship is on the table, and all of that. And recall, too, that a certain governor, Chukwuma Soludo, in fact, says, look, the release of Nnamdi Kanu is not going to thaw the tension in the southeast. I want to have your broad reaction to all of this.
Before I react to that, we need to be able to identify where this whole agitation starts from and where we've gotten to this point where we are now. I have always maintained that the Igbo leaders are culpable with everything that has happened in the southeast and with what Nnamdi Kanu is presently going through. And I'll tell you why. There wouldn't have been need for this agitation if our so-called leaders in the southeast, the governors, the senators, were doing the right thing. I am from the southeast. I am ashamed of my governors, every one of them. I am ashamed at the level of lack of development in the southeast. So when we begin to talk of agitation, I have always said before now that agitating to hold the federal government responsible is one thing. But let us bring it home. Let us hold our governors accountable because they are receiving funds every month and the people are not seeing what these funds are being used for. So that is where the problem is. Now, taking it further, have they done enough? Are they doing enough? I will say no. We are in Nigeria, you and I. We have seen how, when it comes to the north, trying to get their person out, we've seen how they go about it. Not violently, but we have seen the kind of people that come out to speak. And they don't stop speaking until they achieve something. Bringing it to the southwest, we've seen it severally, where the leaders in the southwest have come together as a bloc. And then they galvanize their people to say, this is what we want. How many people in the southeast are doing it? How many? Your governors are not interested because your governors are saying one thing here, they're doing another thing on the other side. If the governors, as we claim, have come together to say they want Nnamdi Kanu to be released, why would another governor come out to say releasing him will not be a solution? Does it not show you that the house is divided? I've always said that Senator Abaribe has been talking. But has he ever raised the issue of the release of Nnamdi Kanu on the floor of the Senate? What are we talking about? It's not for you to call a press conference after plenaries. Put it out there. No, he has never. I have never heard him talk about it on the floor of the Senate. He only talks about it after plenary. So we need to know what we want. Our leaders in the Southeast have continued to disappoint us. Let us put it the way it is. And I believe they can do better. I believe they can galvanize if they are ready to speak with one voice, to appeal to God. See, the issue of Nnamdi Kanu right now has gone beyond judicial issue. Let us look at a political solution to it.
Now, talking about looking at a political solution to it, what impact does the prescription of IPOB affirmed by the Supreme Court just the other day have? What impact would he have on his case? Looking at a political solution to it.
Well, I will tell you.
Let's measure that side by side.
What I see playing out is give a dog a bad name to kill it. And that's what this government is doing. Because we know that it's only in Nigeria you have proscribed IPOB. Nobody in the international community has called IPOB a terrorist group. So the whole idea is, okay, if they can, like the Supreme Court has said, is a terrorist group, the leader of that group, obvious, is a terrorist. That is what they're trying to do. So for me, I do not subscribe to that. But I'll say this, whether the Supreme Court has said this or not, Nnamdi Kanu's case should be treated as a purely political case with a political solution.
All right,
if every now and then we accept that, you saw what played out in is it Kaduna State, where the government was holding meeting with bandits and terrorists, and they were all, showcasing brandizing their gun and all of that, and nobody got arrested. Have you seen Nnamdi Kanu with a gun or even a knife? So if we have a country where you can look at somebody who has killed many people, who have kidnapped people, who have collected ransom, who have maimed people, who have turned Nigerians into living in IDP camps, and you say they have repented, and you forgive them, and you absorb them. So why is Nnamdi case different? Okay. Is it because he's agitated? Is it because of the word Biafra is coming out? We need to know.